Alright, how's it going? My name's Phil, FIL, and today we're going to be checking out the town of Mersea Island. Just going to quickly pop to the local co-op and get a nice beverage. I'm having a bit of a treat day today, so I'm going to treat myself to a nice fizzy pop, and then I'm going to go and check out the skate park. Slight change of plan. I thought there would have been a toilet in that co-op, but there's not, and I'm bursting for a poo at the moment. So there's no point in me going to the skate park if I've got basically a shock putt stuck inside me. I feel so much better after that. It wasn't the most pleasant experience. It sort of sounded like someone emptying a bucket of eels. Wow. Well, I think today's challenge is going to be to frontside 50 this little quarter. It's got to be like 3 foot if that, and it's nice and mellow, so we should be able to get that. Let's give it a go. Well, 3 sketchy ones is good enough for me. I'm going to try and get it frontside. Yeah, I'm going to try and get it frontside now, which is a bit more intimidating for me. Well, I've certainly taken that. I think I must have grinded about a metre there. So I'm absolutely over the moon with myself. I'm going to try something else. So we're obviously on form today, so I'm going to try something more sophisticated. Well, I'm pulling out the big guns now. I'm going to attempt a kickflip rock on there, or maybe a kickflip rock and roll, depending on how I land, but we'll dictate that at the time. I lost for words. I'll take it. I reckon I've got just enough left in the tank to get a nice ollie over that. Maybe a board slide on the rail as well. See how the ollie goes. Nah. Oh, I literally feel like a big bag of lead at the moment. I'm done. But great skate park. I feel like I've probably not made the most of it because I spent over an hour trying to get some sketchy trick. But I'll definitely come back here. It's really nice, especially when you've got the place to yourself. Let's go and get a beer. I popped into the local pub called the Black Testicle and ordered a couple of kids' beers. It's quite hard to get a 0 pint, so I've had to get a couple of bottles. Beer Moretti 0. See what it's all about. That's good. Really nice. I'll probably taste even better after that skate session. I'm absolutely knackered at the moment. Legs are like a pair of lead legs, and I'm really thirsty, and this is wonderful. Well, it's safe to say that Mersea Island certainly is a beautiful place. I've just been down the, I don't know what you'd call it, the harbour or the port or something, where all the boats are, and there's, you know, some fantastic sort of big strong looking fishermen there, probably with massive knobs as well, I reckon. Clearly this butcher is not a fisherman. I'm pretty hungry and I spotted a Tesco's just down here, so I'm going to go and get the ultimate meal deal. That's certainly what it's about. There's a group of friends all getting in the sea. I think it's high tide at the moment. I think I'm going to go in a minute. But they're all raw dogging it as well. Well, not raw dogging it, but they're not wearing wetsuits. It's definitely going to be a cold one. Brings back some great memories being on this beach. I remember years ago, I was on a night out in Colchester, just me and my mate, like middle of the winter on like a Wednesday night or something. And it got to 2 in the morning, we're absolutely steaming. I remember saying like, I just need to go swimming right now. So we got in a taxi and asked the taxi drivers to take us like just somewhere where we could go for a swim, and he pulled up just sort of down there. You can park at the end of that road. And we didn't check the tide times or anything, so we were just legging it down the beach, stripped off, and started wading out through like slop. It's horrible here at high tide, it's just like thick mud. We started wading through all of it. There's like Tesco's bags brushing past your ankles and that, and trying to get out to the sea. We didn't end up getting out there. We just kind of floating in mud for a bit, and when we got out, we crawled back up the beach, like caked head to toe in mud, started putting our clothes back on, legging it up the beach, laughing our heads off, and the taxi driver just did a 3-point turn and drove off up the street. I phoned all the other taxi companies and no one was willing to come and pick us up, so I phoned my mate who's back at the camp and asked him to go into my room, pick my keys up from my car and come and pick us up, and he agreed to do it. And in the meantime, while we were waiting for him to turn up, I went to the bins at that co-op that I went in earlier on next to the skate park. There, so we got in there, like clean bins, was just because we were absolutely freezing. And it sort of like recycling bins, got in them for a bit, and I dropped my mate a pin of the bin pin, and he was on his way to pick us up. But it was too late. Someone had spotted us getting into the bins, and I was sort of just nodding off when the bin opened up, and it was a couple of policemen, and they saw the funny side. But once we told them the story and they realised we were local reprobates, they decided to take us back to camp, and we sort of, you know, made friends with them on the way back. But in the meantime, while we were driving back, my mate was obviously driving my car, and we literally passed him. I saw my car out the window and him driving to go and pick us up, and obviously he was uninsured and that, so I certainly didn't make a fuss about it. And yeah, they dropped us off right outside the doors to the block, and we went in there and tried going to bed, and then my mate came in a bit later and had a few nice words to say to us. Well, I'm about to get out and have my meal deal I bought from Tesco's, so I think it's only fair we give the Mersea Island fish a little meal deal of their own. Let's have a look what we got today. Oh, chicken fajitas. It's certainly a welcomed opportunity. Get under the old foreskin as well. Been doing a bit of boxer shorts graffiti today, especially after that skate. Well, it's time to do the underwater test to see how murky the water is in Mersea Island. Well, I think a great location for lunch is going to be those benches just up on the hill there. I'm going to go as the crow flies. We'll take a look at that for a lunch location. Absolutely perfect. We're going to try something different today. I'm going to be putting this Mars bar duo in my ham and cheese baguette to see what that's all about. I think this could work out quite well. It's perfect size, 2 of them in there. It almost feels like a hot dog. Let's give this a go. I'm not even joking, it is really nice. It's 2 things that I really like. I absolutely love cheese and ham sandwiches, and I absolutely love Mars bars. And putting the 2 together spins your brain out a bit, because your brain's like this. I know I like both these things, but when you put them together, it's like trying to work out what's going on and why you're even doing it. It's so nice. It all works really well together. The one thing I'd change about it, I think the mayo's not great with the chocolate. I think I'd change the mayo for like whipped cream or something like that. I think it'd be lovely. Clotted cream and that'd be perfect. Ginger piss. Every time I have Lucozade, it reminds me of being poorly when you're a kid. You take the day off school and your mum buys you a Lucozade to make you feel better. Well, it certainly is a fantastic place to live, especially if you're an old person. There's some really old people here. People that are so old they probably think a good shag is something that you put in a pipe. Speaking of shag, I'm sat outside this building here, which was actually built by Kevin Shaggerton. And if you've ever wondered where the term shag comes from, this is it. I'll tell you about it now. So Kevin Shaggerton actually built this house disguised as a church back in Levelington 47. Disguising his house as a church was all part of his master plan. He also used to dress up as a vicar as well. He wanted everyone in the island to believe that he was a vicar and he could get away with some of the horrible things that he used to do. He managed to convince the town folk of Mersea Island that basically they would go to hell if they didn't shag him. So all the men and women, not children hadn't been invented yet, but animals as well, he'd get them all in there once a week, get them all in a line and shag them up the bum. So it's thanks to the people of Mersea Island who basically coined the phrase getting shagged. That's what they used to call it. They'd come here and get shagged once a week. But he wasn't that much of a bad bloke, to be honest with you. Like after he'd shagged them, he'd push them out into that garden area over there, and there'd be a couple of tables set up where they could pick like a couple of chocolate bars or something. Well, that was it. That was Mersea Island. I just pulled over to do a video in a lay-by and someone's just pulled up straight away, but we'll carry on with it anyway. Oh, they're going now. Maybe he's just quickly putting his cock away. Alright, he's gone. So yeah, I don't know, it's alright, like it's pretty average really, isn't it? It just needs more stuff for me. I think I'd want like a little high street and Weatherspoons, and I think it would be a lot better place, but it's just lacking in stuff and everything's sort of spread out. There's shops and that, but they're just all over the place, and I don't know, I don't think I'd not really enjoyed it that much, but it is quite a nice place to go and have a look at. Have a good day.